Good evening. My name is Jeff. I'm 38 years old. I'm married, and I have a one-year-old daughter. The last part of that I'd like to discuss with my audience today. I'd like to tell you about a moment that changed my life forever in both positive and negative ways. My wife and I are intelligent people. Before we had our baby, we had ideas about what having a child would be. We thought we knew we could handle it. We were confident that we would struggle through any tough times that we received. But there's nothing that can prepare you so much when you take that baby home from the hospital, when you realize that you're completely on your own, and this little human being is completely dependent on you to survive. So let's go over a couple of positive and negative things that happened when my child was born. First, some negative things. And the first I can think of, my wife would agree, was sleep. Lack of sleep. For the first 8 months of her life, maybe even 9 months, our daughter would get up every 45 minutes to an hour. Imagine trying to go to work after waking up from a screaming baby that needed fed and comforted every hour, and then immediately trying to get back to sleep within that hour, only to have to wake up and reset the clock. It was exhausting, and I only took a week off before I went back to work. I did master the art of taking naps in the car on your lunch break. The second thing was sacrificing things that we had previously done, no longer could. One of which of those was social outings. If our friends were having a party that started at 7, Juliana's bedtime was at 6:30. We couldn't leave the house when she was in the bed, so we could no longer do some of the social atmosphere items that we used to do. Going out for a movie. Now we have to get a babysitter, which is tough to do. So we had to sacrifice going out and doing some of the social things that we used to. The third was being more patient, learning to be more patient, extremely patient. Consider myself a very patient human being. However, when you're working on 45 minutes to an hour and a half of sleep over a night, you're sleep deprived, and you're trying to deal with a baby who can't really communicate with you, it can be frustrating. You can find yourself having a lack of patience and being impatient with not only the daughter, but with your partner. It was trying times. So yes, there was a lot of negative. First 8 months were very tough. But now let's transition over to some of the positives. And there are many. And like I'm going to point out, they greatly outweigh any of the negatives. The first is this little girl, while it was a negative before, it turns into a positive. She depends on you completely. She rewards you with love. Every time you come home after a long day, she hasn't seen you all day. She smiles, she reaches for you. She'll reach up for you, wanting to be picked up. And also, fun. Another thing that I had never thought of before I had a child was, I never thought I could get enjoyment of rolling a ball back and forth for 20 minutes, or playing in a pretend kitchen. These are things I never would have done before I had a child, but now I look forward to the weekends when I can do this with my daughter. I'm thinking of it just actually moments ago, when there's a little girl screaming, crying, afraid in her bed, who mere moments ago was hysterical, but now trusts you enough to let her sleep in your arms. Those are the moments that make memories and are very rewarding. That's why the positive memories greatly outweigh the negative ones. So yes, having a child did change my life, some for the negative, but mostly for the positive. And I want to thank you all for your time.